We've got time for a couple more questions. Let's see. I want to make sure that I've got to get a woman in here. You know, make sure that it's balanced. All right, this young lady right there.
Thank you, Mr. President. We're honored to have you here today. I'm Joyce Ravis from Lake Wiley, South Carolina. I work at Sailguard. We have wonderful CEOs that take care of us and have really helped the company grow. My question is, though, in the economy times that we have now, is it a wise decision to add more taxes to us with the health care? Because we are overtaxed as it is.
Well, let's talk about that. You know, because this is an area where there's been just a whole lot of misinformation. And I'm going to have to work hard over the next several months to clean up a lot of the misapprehensions that people have. And what's happening federally is because the costs are so out of control. All the programs that we already have, Medicare, Medicaid, the Children's Health Insurance Program, all those things are
Completely out of control.
So if you're concerned about the deficit, what you're really concerned about is the cost of Medicare, Medicaid, and all the other programs that are already in place. My end of this pool that members of Congress, by the way, will be a part of, so you know it's going to be a good deal. Because members of Congress, you know, they've got to look out for their own families. They wouldn't vote for it if it wasn't going to be a good deal. And the Republicans say, now that just defies common sense. If you're adding 30 million more people, then it's got to cost more money. And you know, you can't pretend like somehow that's going to help us on the deficit. I've heard this criticism, I understand it. But let me give you an example. If you've got a house, and you've got a big hole in your roof, and it's raining and snowing through that roof, and there's some people who are inside the rooms where the roof's okay, and they're nice and warm, and then you got a few, you know, your family members in that room where there's a big hole in the roof, and they're shivering and they're cold. If you repair the roof, that's going to cost money. But if all the water damage from your floors and all the heat that's going out of the roof and all... The other half of it, it is true that we have identified some additional taxes that we think are fair. And let me just... If you make more than $250,000 a year, then that money that you make over $250,000 a year... So it's a concept of fairness. I'm sorry, by the way, these questions sometimes or these answers are long, but I want to make sure you guys, that I'm really answering your question. I hope you feel like, yeah, I really want to respect the importance of your question. We're actually saving money for the government because we closed the roof. The house is now insulated. It's warm. And by the way, in the meantime, we've got a whole bunch of people who are left out in the cold who are now being taken care of. That's the concept. Just seems like government spending is out of control. I understand that. I feel that. But understand what happened. When I walked in, we already had a $1.3 trillion deficit. That's an annual deficit of $1.3 trillion. That's the day I got sworn in before I did a thing. Bottom line is, we now have a significant debt that has to be paid down.
Boy, that was a long answer. I'm sorry. But I hope everybody... but I hope I answered your question. All right, I've got to make this the last question.
I don't want to punish your success. I just want to spread the wealth around.